Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Eric Johnson. He'll be up on camera in just a second.
Will I?
Yeah. Look at that. My lips don't match my movement. Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
I think you're singing it after the
Joe, what's going on, dude?
No, what about mine? That's why you do it like this.
Joe, what's wrong?
Nothing to see here. Just
we really try around
it's
here.
Awesome. There you
Blah,
go.
blah, blah, blah.
There you go.
Joe, we need to take care of my lips first.
Don't worry about that. It's like a Chinese subtitled movie. You're fine.
Here we go. Watch
it's like
this.
Jackie Chan.
I'm going to go. Hi, Eric.
Hi,
Hi,
how
Eric.
are you doing? How are you doing?
Oh, now it's working.
Oh, there you go. Just had to let the internet catch
Eric,
up.
you need to sit over to the middle.
Do I?
Yeah.
What do you want to?
He can't see right now because we have
I'm blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right there. Perfect. Oh, now Eric's back. Hey guys, good morning. Let's
Was
start
I out
this
of the
all
frame?
over. Yeah,
I
just a
can't
little
see
bit.
anything. I can't see.
We're
any,
gonna get that back for you after the
Well,
interview.
no, I can't see any of the text from the good people.
We're the show that could. We just keep on going.
Yeah, and we got to change that music. By the way, it's a little too scary. A little
It's
too
weird
creepy.
today. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad.
Is it Halloween? Is that what it is?
Guys, let's cancel this.
Yeah.
Vic Faust, Eric Johnson, Pro Joe taking care of everything right now. Megan Marie Moret will be back Thursday. She's traveling from France today. Had a nice shot yesterday. And now we got some big time weather seeding, cloud seeding, weather manipulation stuff to talk about.
Okay, Bigfoot, go.
I know. We're going to get in it. That's why I sent you. Did you see the videos I sent you? Okay, I want to give you.
That's a little bit of a heavy lift.
It is a heavy lift for somebody who grew up in the 80s, like yourself, who still
Well,
thinks
no, I think you can use heart for a lot of stuff.
Well, who still thinks that now yesterday you made us all think Eric has finally become awake.
No, but not stupid.
Okay. And then you'll have your points with that.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to get to that.
Now I'm scared.
Kamala, 60 Minutes actually held Kamala's feet to the fire. Tim Walz was an idiot again last night on TV. It just shows it's the worst ticket in the history of this country to run for president. Yeah. And KJP, the worst, of course, press secretary in the history of this country, refused to ask questions again yesterday. Peter Ducey had her running for the hills because that's what she does.
I saw it live.
She runs like a little child
that
can't handle it. But she was given a job because of DEI. She wasn't qualified. She got it because she said she was gay and she's a woman of color.
Yeah.
That's why she was given the job.
A little Cupid doll.
But it's why DEI is starting to go away, which is a good thing because DEI was one of the worst things that ever happened in this country. It just was. It's not fair. And the best part is when people who benefited from DEI actually say it's a bad thing. And there are many of them that say it. But we start the show with our good friend, Paige Measley from WeQuipUSA.com, one of our advertisers because they've got a really badass website. Paige, since the last time we saw you, you actually birthed a baby boy.
What?
Yep.
Congratulations.
You were a mom already when you became pregnant. Let's get that straight. You were already a mom. Now you birthed your child. Tell us about what it was for being a mom now and little Jack.
Yeah, little Jack. He is about 2 months old now.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I've actually left him.
So it's her idea of human resources just to have more kids.
Exactly. Unpaid employees.
That's right. Working in the warehouse.
Well, we're showing your website. We're showing your website, WeQuipUSA.com. Remind everybody what you do. You've got a new website and how people can use it, get involved, why you started this.
Yeah, so WeQuip is a peer-to-peer rental marketplace. So you can think of us as Airbnb, but for items, or Facebook Marketplace for rentals.
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of stuff, whether it's a bounce house, pop-up tents, cornhole, home improvement.
Then you got a humidifier on there too.
Yeah, so there's
What
a
else?
whole home humidifier.
They got a sauna?
There's no sauna.
You're still looking for a sauna.
Well, who isn't?
You never got a sauna?
That would be a hard one to move. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But But it could have a
Chairs,
sauna on there,
equipment,
right?
It could be on there.
spaces, all kinds of things.
There's dining room tables if you're staging a house and you need one, or
Cornhole games.
Cornhole games. That is genius.
Bags, yeah,
So wait a minute. Since the
grills.
last time we saw you, your inventory has expanded, I take it.
it has expanded.
Yeah.
And we did launch our new website this last week.
Yeah.
So be gracious with us. We're still making the updates, changing from our last platform to our current platform. But everything is new and updated, and we have some new features that I'm very excited
we're showing
about.
the website now for people who are watching, and for people listening to the podcast, go to weequipusa.com and you can check it out. I do love it. I think the thing that's very fascinating is the fact that you're connecting people all around the country,
Yes,
in the areas that they live in, the zip codes that they live in with one another. So it makes sense. It's easy. And of course, if anybody's used it, they know they love it.
Yes, we've had some really good success, some great reviews, and we haven't had any problems with it yet.
The
It's been
delivery.
fantastic.
So I mean, one application that you just said is the staging of houses. Somebody has an estate sale. They go, well, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Put it in your garage. Put it on WeQuip, right?
Yeah.
And do they deliver the product to the house?
So it's
if they wanted to?
Yeah, it's completely up to the owner and the renter. So some of our listings say for pickup only.
Yeah.
Some say delivery included. And then other ones just leave it up in the air. So maybe they're going to be out and about that day. They can drop it off or pick it up, vice versa.
Right.
And they just communicate via chat on our website.
And it works out very, very well. We're showing more pictures of people, what they can do. Is there anything that, Eric, you've got so many things you can put up there.
Yes.
We
for
do have
sale.
guitars up there.
I have 100 bases that people would love to rent.
Do you really have 100 bases?
Probably not 100, but it's
50?
I think more than 50.
Where do you put them?
Good question. In closets that I haven't been in for years. Wow, look at that.
So you walk into your house and you're stepping over bass guitars.
It's happened a million times in the last year. I was like, I can't believe I have this still.
Well, you can make money off of it instead of just taking up space.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I buy bases like you buy ties, I would imagine. Are you used to buy ties?
It's funny. I hadn't opened up my tie drawer in 2 years.
Good for you.
No, my son's
Welcome
like,
to
Dad,
the
I need a
club."
tie. It's homecoming. He's like, I need a special color. So we blew the dust off.
And called
up the drawer.
WeQuip.
Yeah.
That could be a great application. We don't have any ties.
What about tuxedos?
No tuxedos yet.
You could.
We definitely could. There's
No.
so
If
many
I
applications.
didn't have to go to a mall to get a tuxedo when I was in high school.
Yeah, but the
that
fit
would've
and all
been
that,
great.
Eric, the fit and everything else, I don't know.
Well, it would be very Napoleon Dynamite. But
It would be. So so when you got the new website, or what are questions? Somebody had a question earlier, Paige. You were asking, hey, I've got a lot of things I want to put up there. And how do you go about listing the items? Do you help them? Is it easy? How do you plan this?
Yeah, so it is very easy to do. All you do is you go online, you make an account, straightforward there, and then you go post a new item, and it takes you through step by step what you need to do. So you write a title, a description, you set your pricing. So for those of you that aren't familiar with WeQuip, your pricing is completely up to you. You take home 75% of the list price. And so the credit card processing fees and everything else come out of our end. So you make a true 75%. And there's no limit to that.
Wait, so what is the number one thing that's on WeQuip? Just like TVs, I would imagine, something like that, right?
The number one rental so far are tables and chairs.
Tables and chairs.
Very generic.
Okay,
yes.
because you're having an event.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go buy the stuff at Costco. So it's like, well, we'll just call WeQuip, and they'll bring it over, and it'll be a nicer unit, you would imagine, than something you'd buy at Costco.
I mean, it depends. So some of it are just like regular metal brown folding chairs.
Yeah.
But if you need 20 of them, like you can't just go out and buy them. You don't want to store them. You probably only need to use them maybe once a year.
You know what we used to call WeQuip? Walmart. Because we used to buy them and then return them like a month later for like an event. Did I say
Yes, you did.
public?
That's fine.
Sorry.
So I guess the list go back to that question.
Are there items that you think that would do well that you haven't received from people, or that people are asking for maybe, or bringing up ideas?
Yes. Bicycles is definitely one, especially
Really?
with us being so close to the Katy Trail that people like want to get on there, but we don't have any bicycles yet.
What about golf clubs?
Golf clubs would also be a great addition, especially if people are coming in for a bachelor party, or maybe it's just you want that friend to come with you that doesn't normally golf, but they need a set.
Yeah.
Especially if you upgrade your set and you just have your old one laying around, you might as well rent it out and make some cash.
Well,
but I have a crappy set of clubs. If I saw the new Ping driver set up there, I'd be like, can I rent that?
What
for
would you
day?
pay for a day? What would you pay for a day for clubs? Because if you rent clubs at just an average course,
they suck.
They're about $35.
Yeah, I would say I would do probably for a great set that I just want to try out for the day. I'd say $40. I would do it.
I think Pings would cost you more than that.
I think they would too. But if you just have them laying around your garage and someone's like, yeah, I'll let them go for $40.
Yeah, whatever.
Callaways. But it's like Airbnb. It's like, okay, it might be $40 today, but if I do this 10 times over the month, on a nice month or a nice summer.
But you could try it out and then go, okay, this is worth it for me to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, from the chat line, Sarah says, I'm the one that emailed about a 10-foot trailer. So I need to get it on there. So they're planning on doing that, a 10-foot trailer to there.
Amazing. Yeah, that'd be great. Sorry, I don't think I finished your question, but so it's just a very simple listing process, write a description, set your pricing, select some photos, and then you click post. I'll approve it, so nothing sketchy gets posted on the site.
Right.
And then it's live, and then anyone can list it, or anyone can rent it from you, and it's not an automatic thing. So when someone requests to rent it, you have the opportunity to deny it.
Gotcha.
So say it's something that you're like, I'm going to use it sometime, so I don't want someone to just be able to rent it. You can always say no. If you're using it that weekend or you're out of town, you can't get it to them. You can either propose a new time or just say, I'm sorry, that's not going to work.
Now, the big stuff, do you have any RVs on there or any trailers?
So we did have a trailer. The guy that had it listed ended up selling it because he just wasn't getting enough use out of it.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to add another trailer, which I believe Sarah said that she has one. So that would be amazing.
Oh my God. Man.
Especially because like I was looking at it and even like we recently moved, U-Hauls, it might be the same size trailer, but it doesn't have the same weight capacity necessarily. So that's something very important to consider, especially if you're moving like those larger items.
Oh, definitely.
Want to let people know there is insurance. A question came to you, Paige. What if an item comes back damaged?
Yeah, so we do have a like dual rating process for both owners and renters. So you could have someone make a rental request, but you go onto their page and they've had multiple bad reviews. You can also deny them for that. As well, as far as insurance, we insure each item up to $3,000. So we try to make it as risk-free for the owner as possible.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't say that the renters are liable for the damage they do. But if they fall off the face of the planet, something happens, we got you covered. If you're looking for something that has a higher guarantee, we also have our business plans, which goes back to that question about helping with listings. So if you have a lot of listings or you own a business that already rents out items and we're just another platform for you to do that, we do have business plans that you can pay for. We include marketing with that, help listing creation, and extras with that.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You're such an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Are you having fun with it, or are you like, man, I don't know I didn't know what I was getting into?
I had no idea what I was getting into.
But did it grow? Did it grow by itself, or were you like pushing it the whole time?
I mean, I've definitely been pushing it. I've, before I had my son, I was out and about a lot more networking. Now getting back into it, but it's also it's evolved so much.
Yeah.
So from my original idea, I thought I was going to be like, okay, make the website, cool, it's done.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
But it's been so much more.
One
than that.
final question before we let you go to an opportunity for fundraisers coming from the chat line.
Yes. So if you check out our new website, we do have a fundraising feature. So if you have a charity that you want to support, or you are part of a charity and you're looking for money, people can go and list their items and they can donate a portion of what they make to said charity.
Oh, cool.
And it'll automatically go to their bank account. So you don't have to worry about splitting it or anything. So if you're like, I need to support them, but money is tight, that's another way to do it. So,
and we encourage people, check out and support WeQuipUSA.com. Paige has been a supporter of our show. She's from the area, all around great person. And little Jack could use the business to do well as well. Paige,
he's already working.
Yeah, he's
pushing pallets around.
Paige says he's already rolled. Paige says her child's already rolling around. So That's a big deal.
Yes,
Nice.
and he's apparently not supposed to do that for another couple of months. But
And how old is Jack again?
2 months.
2
Oh,
months.
he's not supposed to be doing that yet.
No, he's
Jack,
doing it all the
come
time.
on, Jack. Paige, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting WeQuip USA.
Yes, thank you guys.
.com.
And
Yeah.
if you guys find any issues with the site, please let us know so we can fix them.
All
That's
right.
always the worst part of
Appreciate
the
Paige, have
business.
an awesome
is the IT.
Oh. Paige, have an awesome day, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All righty. Paige Measley
Yeah.
with WeQuipUSA.com. All right, we appreciate it. This is canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Eric Johnson in the house. Megan Marie Moret will be back on Thursday. Pro Joe here as well. Eric and I, we're dealing with a big deal here. Okay.
Okay. If you say anything.
This whole Hurricane Helene.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Hurricane Helene
Yeah.
was. Okay. Now, there's no doubt that hurricanes have changed. You talk to people who vacationed or lived in Florida
Have they?
20, 30, 40 years ago,
Mhm.
Eric.
I don't know.
They're not
Katrina
right on
was
top
a big boy.
Yeah, it was. On top of each other. The
Mhm.
direction of them.
Yeah.
How it's happening. The types of clouds. The things that we're starting to see.
Yeah.
We already know that cloud seeding does exist, and we're going to show you in just a second
Okay.
that the government does cloud seed.
Yeah.
We already know that there is, even though the word may not be one that people like to use, weather manipulation. And we're going to show you
Yeah.
how that's done. Most weathercasters they will not say what is happening. Most don't. There are a few that do, and they get banned and canceled. You
I was
do
wondering
not
that
think
last
that
night.
the government is
I don't think
coming
they're
after.
smart enough to know how to do that.
I do. They are.
But
If you think Kamala and the Democrats are smart enough to steal elections and go after and lie
okay, I'm
and
going to
steal,
say something.
then you have to believe that the government is smart enough to do
Here,
this. as
there
well.
are if there were conspiracy theories in
Connie says yes, the government is effing with the
Okay.
weather.
Well, if there were conspiracy theories in music, I would know about them. I would consider myself an expert in music, right? I would. You got a chance to hang around Dave Murray. You got a chance to Zimmerman. You got a
Yeah.
chance to hang around all those guys.
Yeah.
It coffee breaks.
Yeah.
How lucky are you? Did you ever have a chance to say, guys, what the hell's up with this,
Yes,
this?
Dave Murray. Who
And
we
did
used
you
to-
ever get did they ever go look at you like, well, there is this one thing.
Well, Glenn Zimmerman would because he's ultra liberal. Sorry, he just was. Now
Okay.
maybe he's changed, but I heard his comments
Yeah.
in the news. He was a Democrat.
So
And he was
I don't know what
liberal.
that means, but you can still see, you can still.
He didn't
I
believe
mean,
in
maybe
any
he
of it.
knows about
Dave
HARP and all that
Murray
stuff.
came on our radio show
Yeah.
on The Edge, and he used to tell you and me all the time, there's no such thing as climate change. There's no such
Yeah.
thing as that. He would say it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a shame that there are weathercasters that are just cashing checks because they don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I think we saw this hurricane with Helene is very fascinating. And there's a lot.
And there's another one coming.
And then all of a sudden, another category 5 right on the heels of it. All I'm saying is look into some of the information. This is a soundbite from Ginger Z. Do you know who Ginger Z is?
I don't.
Ginger Z, ABC News weathercaster, chief meteorologist. This was from a few years ago. Listen to what she said on their show talking about what's happening with weather. I don't think national media likes this to get back out.
Mm-hmm.
I found it, and we want to break down some of the things that are happening because what I see happening, Eric, it's worth a conversation. Don't you think that weather is changing? It's a little different. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Listen to Ginger Z and what she had to say.
Cloud seeding is booming. They anticipate at least another 200 ground cloud seeding machines to be put in before next season.
Ginger, this is such a cool concept, but is it too good to be true? I mean, how do we know that the chemicals that they're spraying from the air aren't bad for us or the planet?
The good news is we've been doing this since the 1940s and 50s. Other countries do it, and there have been a lot of research projects that have shown that the silver iodide, for example, is not found. It's negligible once it gets down to ground level.
So, again, I don't want to be too skeptical, but is there anything wrong with manipulating nature like this?
I think that's the question we should have asked when we built every single parking lot and every rooftop. We have been manipulating weather with us for a very long time. I do think that looking at and continuing research on when these programs get bigger, if it will affect people downstream, that needs to be watched.
At least we're manipulating it now to help the planet. So,
Where are you, libs?
Yeah.
Eric, right out of the gate. And that video disappeared for a while too.
Yeah.
At least, and here's the thing, just be honest. That's all I always say. Be who you are. Tell us who you are. Don't lie. We've seen it enough with Kamala Harris line.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about, we'll get to Tim Walz later. At least Tim Walz is showing us what an idiot he is.
Yeah.
At what a quote knucklehead he is. At least we know he's not cut out for any sort of political position. Kamala, on the other hand, is a liar. Barack was a liar. Bill was straight up forward and honest. At least they're honest. George Bush, honest, dumbass. You know, all the things.
Yeah.
Don't lie to us. Ginger, thank you for putting that soundbite up. But guess what? Now Ginger runs from those comments. She doesn't say anything like that anymore because guess what? She got a little spanking. She got grounded.
Who? She did?
Oh, yeah. She doesn't talk about that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because she's not allowed to, because now things are getting serious. And we're going to break this down into a couple more levels. But your thoughts when you hear Ginger C talk about cloud seeding going on since the 40s?
I mean, I know that chemicals are in the sky, and I know chemicals can be added to other chemicals to do other things. And there was this thing back in the 70s called HARP from Alaska, which manipulated a lot of stuff. And I do understand that some radical scientists might be doing weird things.
Are you trying to like poo-poo this, or just you heard them talk. She admitted the government's been manipulating weather.
Yeah. And
so
but
I'm
I
like,
think
man.
But I think people have been wanting them to manipulate weather because of droughts that might be happening in the Southwest, or because of hurricanes, or
look what they did with Dubai.
I mean, how cool could it be? Yeah, that's a great point.
I would love to see you today. We talked about that earlier.
How cool would it be if you had 3 Cat 4 hurricanes coming in from Africa, and you could, with the click of a button, zap them all out of the air?
Yeah, correct.
So I mean,
and guess what? And you're thinking about only in the positive nature. You're thinking about it in the 1980s.
But for every action, there's an equal reaction.
Could be.
There's consequences.
Exactly. That's my point.
So, but weather is very passive.
So people can't say that there's no such thing as cloud seeding going on.
No,
or
I never
manipulation.
thought there wasn't cloud seeding, to be honest with you. I always thought they were trying to. I mean, the iodine stuff and the salt and whatever else they were putting up there, I got it. I was like, okay, this makes sense. It would be, again, Vic, wouldn't it be cool if Lake Mead, we could bring it from 0 feet to 100 feet again? That would be kind of neat.
Maybe that's where the water came from to get to Dubai.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of...
No, but farmers in Texas and Arizona have complained that all of a sudden their reservoirs have dried up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there are reservoirs popping up in deserts that had never had them before.
Correct. And but you understand that's the consequence that I'm talking about.
Using it for evil.
Yeah, you don't watch what you wish for. The world is no different than the world, planet Earth is no different than the human body, right? It just, the human body has a unique way of fixing itself with its immunity and all that stuff.
But not if you're effing with it.
But when you go in there with chemicals such as mRNA vaccines and this, that, and the other. And
nice job, Eric.
Thank you.
So now you're comparing cloud seeding and weather manipulation to mRNA vaccines.
You can make yourself feel a little,
I love it.
Well,
you are awake.
Well, I'm just saying, here's what I'm saying. Nature has a unique way of fixing everything that's busted.
Well, here's another example, and take a look at another that. I love Dane Wigington. Watch him explain what's happening and the difference in this hurricane that we just saw with Hurricane Helene.
Well, Dane, the question here is, how does this hurricane's path differ from others that we've seen? I've already had a lot of people call me from the Asheville area, talk specifically about the horrendous damage, and many of them pointed out that that is not Hurricane Alley per se. It's not an area that normally attracts storms. Can you help us understand this?
Well, the bottom line is it was directed there, as the transmission recordings clearly show. They kept that moisture corralled there to deluge in the same location. So again, these are patented technologies, and the fact that we have the entire so-called meteorological community denying that this is going on to protect their paychecks and pensions is absolutely criminal at this point. We know we have private defense contractors that are neck deep in the patents that manipulate these storms, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. We know those two in particular do the weather modeling for the nation's weathermen, National Weather Service and NOAA. Again, both agencies have an illegal federal gag order on them. So at this point, this is an emperor has no clothes moment. That's the best description I can give for something that is so blatantly obvious and inarguable, can only be considered weather warfare at this point. And the fact that, again, the so-called science community is denying this manipulation is criminal. It's absolutely criminal, Colonel McGregor.
That's enough to work with from that standpoint.
I heard yesterday, and maybe you're going to touch on it now, that they were saying that this thing was pushed up through North Carolina, buckling back to Tennessee. Again, this is Sasquatch territory, but to get
it's not.
To get lands.
That's unfair to call them to say that's Sasquatch.
To get land that had a lot of lithium in it that
we're going to get to that
they weren't selling.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that is wow. That is a big
because
lift.
of the it is.
You know?
But when you see the breakdown of it, people can decide what they want. As Trish says, we'll get into it from a lithium standpoint. But check out the next video, though, Eric, and you see some of the things that are happening and going on with our weather on the heels of what we just said. We are starting it. Watch this video and show. They'll talk about the blue for our viewers on the podcast. You can see it. For our listeners, they'll explain how weather is pushed with pulses in the atmosphere to go in certain directions.
Okay.
Was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just the result of natural processes and climate patterns, or was it manipulated? The circular blue flashes seen in this video are frequency transmissions from the NEXRAD network of transmitter installations. Okay. All available science evidence makes clear that atmospheric frequency transmissions can and do have a repelling effect on air masses, especially if and when the air masses have been seeded with electrically conductive nanoparticles. The brighter the blue flash from a frequency transmission installation, the more pronounced and powerful the repelling effect on any air mass or storm in the vicinity will be. Where there are no blue flashes, there is no transmission, thus no repelling effect, thus no resistance for a migrating storm. Translation: a migrating storm will be hindered from moving toward frequency transmissions and will easily migrate in a direction with no transmissions. So again, I ask, was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just an act of nature, or was it engineered? You decide.
And I believe in bringing evidence to light, black and white topics, and then people will decide. But I'm saying, Eric, I think the question is this a conversation that should be had? In my opinion,
but Dave Murray, where's he at?
Dave's not going to come out and talk about this right now. Not on the radio stations that he's getting paid a lot of money to come out and talk about.
Radio is the perfect place to come out and talk about this stuff.
No, because that's all happy, joyful.
I get it.
Cookies, lemonade, poolside, kids, pets, dogs, all the fun stuff. Enjoy your barbecue and your hot dogs and Americana.
Well, who's going to talk about it?
Dave will talk about it privately, but he won't talk about it publicly.
One thing about like the Joe Rogan podcast that I'm finding, which I'm a big fan of.
Maybe he'll change. Maybe he's changed.
The big fan of is, even if you say something on Joe Rogan, the public doesn't necessarily believe it. They're like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. Oh, my God, you're using electric frequency
but it's
to move.
Also because of how he talks too. He's like, man, isn't it just freaking crazy?
Well, here's the deal.
If that was and it's kind of his approach. Which
I'm kind of serious about this. So I'm kind of pissed about it, to be honest with you. He puts out Cat Williams a year ago talking about all this P. Diddy crap. I believed it. And
we said it on the show. We showed it.
No one believed it. But all of a sudden, Lester Holt comes out, P. Diddy arrested for whatever.
Maybe you and your crew didn't believe it, but we did around here.
I'm talking about the public in
the
public
whole, that I know.
I'm talking about the public in a whole, the grandmother and grandfather in Des Moines, Iowa.
People who don't even know who P. Diddy is.
Right.
But when you see what's happening as we lay this case out, you start to see
this is interesting. It is interesting.
And that's what I'm saying. This is definitely a conversation. Now we get into more of the stuff that you were just talking about. Why did this? Why would the government do this?
They do everything for political reasons.
Well, let's check this next video out too. I normally don't like to just put other people who are posting stuff on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok unless it makes sense for the base that we're doing. So we play this woman regarding some of the interesting things you were just saying, Eric. Why?
Wouldn't it be crazy if one of the richest lithium deposits in the world was right outside Asheville, North Carolina? Wouldn't it be crazy if the largest lithium mining company in the world, 3 days before the flood began, submitted the permits for their mine right outside Asheville, North Carolina? Wouldn't it be crazy if the same mining company was given $250 million worth of grants to help with construction of their mine right outside of Asheville, North Carolina? Wouldn't it be crazy if less than a month before the flood started, BlackRock acquired 2.2 million shares in the mining company? Wouldn't it be crazy if the residents that opposed the mine had their homes and property destroyed? Wait, crazy if one of the richest lithium deposits...
Isn't it insane?
Okay, that's another thing I'll say. Money is, I'm totally a believer in that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't look at polls. I look at what Vegas is talking about the polls.
Polymaker.
Because
is
money.
Polymaker polling.
Yeah, Polymaker.
That's the one I go to quite a bit. And by the way, Trump is dominating that by over 70%.
I saw that. I'm seeing, but if BlackRock is going, oh, let's put 1 million, 2 million stocks into this little mining operation.
You see this, and that's
is real. Interesting.
Hell yeah, it's interesting.
That's interesting. That's a little insider trading kind of stuff.
I feel like I'm winning. I woke up this morning.
I want you to win.
My goal this morning was to wake up and win, Eric.
Yeah, I want you to win, but I also want to believe in ghosts. I want to believe.
And why don't ghosts change their clothes?
That's why I watch Paranormal Caught on Camera every night. Is I want desperately to believe that there's ghosts that we can talk to, because maybe my mom and sister will show up. But this is very Sasquatches. This is very UFO to me. It's very UFO.
Maybe to you, I get it. You're right. To you, I get it.
Yeah.
But Eric, eventually you come around. You've come around on Lester Holt not being a true journalist. You've come around on mainstream media not really wanting to tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And I think you can see the evidence that we are putting out that this is a conversation, and I'm glad.
No, I believe.
But that's not it. You brought up money. You see, you're one of the most intelligent people that I know, and I tell people that all the time.
Would disagree, but go ahead.
And I'll continue. And you're very creative, and you have nice blue eyes.
Go on.
But seriously, it all gets back to money too.
It does.
Case in point, look at the next video of a man who actually works with some of the elements and talks about the pricing of lithium and things that are happening as well.
To talk to you guys about lithium for a minute and how it connects to what's going on in North Carolina. What a lot of people don't know is what the actual cost of lithium is right now. A lot of you guys out there, I'm a potter. I make all my stuff from scratch. Lithium is actually a large component of this red glaze you see right here. Here is a 10-pound bag of lithium. This is how I buy all elements raw in their pound. 10 pounds. When I bought this bag of lithium, it was $9, 10-pound bag. Now, today, this 10-pound bag of lithium is $1,200. So, when you hear, and I'm getting lots of reports that the federal government is attempting to seize Castle Rock, North Carolina, that land, and other flood-devastated lands because of the lithium deposit that is underneath it. The amount of money we are talking about in that lithium deposit is in the billions of dollars. This cannot be allowed. This cannot be allowed. And I can't. The feasibility of electric cars and lithium going forward at this amount of money, I don't understand how that is even fucking possible.
It's not.
Strip mining Appalachia for lithium is not green. Electric cars are not green. All of the shit that goes into it, they are going to destroy that area for greed. I need to talk to you guys.
And by the way, if you do some checking on prices, it's true. It's not just some guy rambling and talking because he has a platform, which is why we thought this was a conversation that should be had, or at least I did.
This is interesting as hell.
Thank you.
It is in it, and it makes sense to me, but it's not news.
Why?
Because I'll tell you another thing.
Why the hell is it not news?
Because
holy shit, what is wrong with you?
Because
it's not news, Eric.
I'm telling you, Vic. I'm telling you. That's why it's like you have to have that bond between what we're doing here.
Joe, can you bring that alcohol from the cabinet in?
Come on, Joe. Joe, you need to help me out, brother.
The margarita mix.
You need to have the.
How can it not be news?
We're the fuse, and the trigger would be the nightly news, would be the national news outlets, would be the headlines that you see on Fox News.
The national news headlines don't mean anything anymore.
As a matter of fact, I'll go a little bit farther.
Eric,
even if you see
said yesterday they're bought and paid for.
Even if
media.
I know. But even if
they're not going to tell you the truth.
Even if you see this story on Fox News, Lester Holt has a chance to go, oh, well, that's Fox News. Come on, guys. If you hear it from Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, Politico, wherever else, you then have a chance to go, oh, damn, it's true.
No.
You Eric, know I'm telling the truth.
You're thinking again from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. You admitted yesterday news is not telling us the truth.
It's not.
They don't even tell us the truth when it comes to stories. They don't even cover truth. They don't even cover anything.
It's amazing. It's amazing and it's fascinating. And I would love to know where these transmitters are that are moving this hurricane.
It's actually in the towers.
What
all
towers?
The communication.
In the middle of the ocean?
No,
you would have
all over the place.
You would have to be in the middle of the ocean.
Those blue lights all over.
Were communication towers.
What kind of communication towers?
The same ones we see driving down the road. The same ones that power
cell towers?
Yes. The same ones that feed our
5Gs. 5G towers.
Yep. That's why there was a big stink about 5G that I guess you probably never heard about. Because,
probably not.
Yeah. Because you're not a conspiracy person, but here we go.
And it's not even a conspiracy situation.
Right.
It's a factual situation. And just because people have, here's the thing. Humans in general, especially Americans, if they haven't seen or heard something before, you always are skeptical of something you don't know. And that's natural and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, I haven't heard this before. Why haven't I heard this? Because you can't trust your news. The only people talking about the issues, a lot of the issues that are going on are independent newsmakers, social media outlets, podcasts, because national news and local news, as you know, they've done you a disservice and they'll continue to do it because they want to run business as usual. And that's why their ratings have gone down. And that's why news trickles down. People don't want to think for themselves anymore and they just trust how it was. But people are getting it and waking up.
And that's why they're trying to take away our freedom of speech.
It is all controlled. Again, look at the next piece of video, Eric. All of these things and not just for you, Eric. I mean, we're all just having a conversation.
No,
for our viewers,
right.
Our listeners. This will explain more of what's happening. And you've talked about HARP. You brought up HARP. So we bring up HARP and show you how
it's Art Bell.
Some of the geoengineering.
An Art Bell.
And that was many years ago.
Overnight in 1988. So this goes way back.
Christine says the news is all propaganda. It is, and I know because I worked with it for 25 years.
I agree.
Check out this.
I agree.
45,000 transmit-receive modules, and this antenna can detect an object the size of a baseball at a range of 2,500 miles. That is why I say this thing can project all that power into a pinpoint beam, totally computer controlled. The dome is 120-foot diameter. The power source is 3.6 megawatt generators for a total of almost 22 megawatts. And this HARP platform has a tow ship to move it around, so that 22 megawatts is not actually designed to go into the engines. That is designed to go into the transmitter unit. Other U.S. Navy ships have powerful microwave transmitters. This is the U.S. Navy ship Howard O. Lorenzen. It looks small, but it's actually 534 feet long. Each phased array, the boxes on the top of the deck, is a phased array transmitter. Synthetic aperture radar, whatever you want to call it, weighs 250 tons. And there's a crew of 88 on board. This is a gigantic ionospheric heater again. So there are four.
Yeah, but it's just a conspiracy theory, right?
No, it's not a conspiracy theory.
Exactly.
It's not. But it is a conspiracy for now in the public sphere that somebody is out there in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico pushing a hurricane up to North Carolina. That is a big boy. That's a big conspiracy.
Okay, because you're saying it's not that it's not true and there's not evidence for it.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's because people that used to be like you are still like that, and it's hard for them to fathom and come through the idea that this would actually be happening with our government, which is why we're here.
Yes.
It's like watching a damn movie.
We'd like to continue what we're doing. Yeah. Promote us. You can donate.
Art Bell talked about this stuff some 30 years ago on the radio.
Some of it he did, and it's gotten more.
He's talked about. I learned from chupacabras from Art Bell, but and I was fascinated, and I was all in, and I believed it, and I was so sad that the nightly news didn't talk about tonight in Mexico, chupacabras destroy an entire town. I was like, oh my God, they're real. I want to know that this is real. I want to know that somebody like Watergate.
Well, I think we're doing a pretty good job of putting some of the things together to think about.
If Watergate,
simple.
Think about this for a second. If Watergate was flipped, and it was today, and it was a Democrat doing it to Republicans, the spin machine would have come out, and
100%.
It would have been like, Peter, let me be really clear about this. people go into hotel rooms all the time. We can't judge what they were. They would have spun it. The news cycle would have diminished it, and it would have been a thing of the past. We would have never talked about it again, right?
Yeah, but
that's what I see with this kind of stuff.
Look at the clouds. I mean, another picture that we show people. Clouds look different. You talk to people on the ground with the hurricane.
Okay, that's true.
Clouds look different, and we try to show you some of these things.
But if it's a black operation, you'll never find out about it. You'll witness it. That's all you'll do.
But that gets into your situation again. You want everything packaged in a nice bow, but that's not how life is.
How are you?
Nobody's going to tell you that they're committing crimes in life.
But I don't. Right.
They're just not.
Right.
So you have to go out and do it for yourself.
So, but if the people that own that land
isn't
in North
an episode
Carolina,
of Scooby-Doo anymore, where we pull the mask off and find out everybody.
Well, that's what we need to do. But
I know, but it's not going to happen.
If the good people of North Carolina, eventually we find out 6 months from now, they just could not stand it anymore, and they sold their land for pennies on the dollar. Now we got a story.
Check out this video with the clouds, and it certainly looks engineered, to say the least.
All right.
Okay.
It does look like they're sweeping a lot of clouds.
I can give you the motive of why they're going for Sarasota.
Why?
So have you ever heard of the Ringling Museum?
No.
Okay, so it's a museum.
Ringling Brothers.
Oh,
Ringling and Barnum.
Yeah, Barnum and Bailey.
You mean, are you Barnum and Bailey?
Yeah. Okay, so the owner,
I meant John Ringling, the guitar player.
Yeah, he curated a bunch of art. He curated a bunch of art, so poor people could view it because he only rich people back in the day could view art. So there's billions of dollars on this property, billions of dollars of art. We're talking about Statue of David. We're talking about here. Let me.
Statue of David is in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
The real one?
Well,
but Joe, you're talking about all this art that's there in Sarasota. I can only imagine what you're going to say.
So that's actually owned by the state. All this art is owned by the state because John Ringling left it to the state. But under the stipulation that they had to open the property every Sunday for free so people could come in and view the art. Okay. Well, how do you get the money for all this art? You have to destroy it because it's insured. They can't do anything with it. They can't sell it. They can't do anything with this art other than open it up for poor people every Sunday.
I did not know this.
Yeah. They have parties and stuff there. I mean, they make a lot of money on this property. However,
so they want it destroyed?
This is owned by
the
the government. This is owned by the state of Florida.
It's interesting for sure.
If they destroy it, there's billions of dollars that they could get in insurance.
Seems like this would be the kind of thing you would put underground in a safe bunker.
You would think. You would think.
But then you think about all this too. Now we have another Hurricane 5 hitting Tampa, and all of a sudden more of the weather stuff coming in. It's 2024 election coming up.
Great for Sarasota.
FEMA not getting supplies to people. Eric, the government. Big government does not care. They do not care. And we just wanted to throw that out there today for a while.
What about the moon not being shown? Have you seen that one?
I've seen that. I've seen people freaking out about that too.
You got to know this one.
I don't.
In the last 7 days, there is no moon.
Yeah. There's people freaking out because the moon has not shown.
I'm going to say that again slowly.
Yeah, I know. I'm processing.
In the last 7 days, I don't remember a time in my life where the moon dipped so far south that you couldn't see it. Do you?
No.
I saw it every night.
No.
Right? Where's the moon?
Do they take it away during hurricanes?
They got to.
I tell you what, where I live, the stars are sick bright, and it's that way because there is no lunar.
Donna
light.
says, or Susan says, there was a sliver the past 2 nights.
I can't see it.
Just a sliver.
No, it's. But even a sliver, even a damn. Eclipse you could see. There's nothing.
No, we appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing, sharing the show, canceltheshow.com.
Look on TikTok for that, by the way.
Eric Johnson.
Look on TikTok. See if you can find Joe. The moon is gone
in the house.
TikTok.
Harvest moons are notoriously low. And it's the harvest moon right now.
I know it's the harvest moon, but the harvest moon is because farmers could do their harvest at night.
Last night. It was just a sliver down in southeast Missouri.
Well,
yeah, no matter where you are listening around the country, you can let us know from that standpoint. I mean, it happens. But I just wanted to bring up the weather situation because we got a Hurricane 5, Category Storm 5, getting ready to hit.
See, moon's still missing.
And hitting us very soon.
Go ahead and play.
Did you want to play something? Go ahead.
I do want to play.
Go ahead, play it.
Because I couldn't find it last night. I was like, I told Christy, you're nuts. There's a moon out there, and I couldn't find it.
The moon is still missing. No, it's not a new moon. It's already crescent. The moon is 3 days old, and it has been missing for over 10 days. I have been sitting here waiting to see the second moon. We even have clear skies.
Cracks me up.
All right? Come nightfall, all cloudy. We cannot see the moon. Not only the second moon. The moon is gone.
Gone
show me
they're talking there's a second moon
live.
Also. It's a
28th up until
comet
now,
or something.
Where'd you find
there
this
has been no
one?
moon, including yesterday. My video got lots of views, and everybody's saying the same thing. We cannot see the moon.
Can't see the damn moon.
Who took the moon? So all the smart asses that keep on saying, oh, it's a new moon, it's a new moon. You can't see the moon because it's a new moon. Y'all got to stop insisting like you're saying something clever. On October 5th, 2024, the moon is in a waxing crescent phase and is 7% illuminated.
Yes.
The moon is 3 days old.
3 days old.
We have not seen it since before the 28th.
That's right.
The moon's phase repeats every 29.5 days. The moon appears to be a circular disk that is illuminated by sunlight.
Watch your mouth.
The moon is always half illuminated by the sun, but the amount of the illuminated half that is visible to Earth changes as the moon orbits the Earth. We all know this. And the new moon occurs when the moon is between the Earth and the sun. Yay! Y'all keep on repeating this as if it's an explanation for why the moon has been missing for over 10 days. But okay, let's go on.
But someone said they saw it last night. So
a moonless night is, as you suspect,
should have been more of a
which
sliver.
The moon does not appear visible in the sky. This happens once per
We're good.
month.
Yeah, we're good.
Once per
you get it? There's no moon. Why isn't Lester Holt talking about that?
Oh my God, they're not going to. We've already talked about this.
Where's the moon?
She reminded me of Kamala Harris trying to talk.
Yeah.
She's like,
I know.
Because we know Kamala's junk. Hey, there was a report that cocaine was Kamala's too, by the way.
What?
Yeah, that's another reason why Joe hates her and is trying to sabotage her campaign right now, because Hunter had to take the fall for Kamala.
So Kamala doesn't have the security apparatus to get her cocaine into her own office?
Yeah, well, she's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed either.
She's not. But
she's not the brightest bulb in the kitchen.
I mean, do you think her and Hunter have thrown back a few lines before?
No, I guarantee it.
Sure.
You think so?
Absolutely. I would bet everything on it.
Really?
Dude, look at her. Look at her past.
Yeah.
Look at her. I mean, I know a couple dudes that did a ton of coke and they don't operate on the highest level.
Remember when?
And she's not operating on the highest
level.
When
okay, this is a good topic. Remember when marijuana was like taboo? You do marijuana, goodbye, throw away the key. Back in the 80s, of course. You guys were not even born yet. But it was pot was not a thing. There was no Cottleville, Missouri going, oh yeah, let's have pot, legalize pot. And then all of a sudden pot became it's pot, whatever. Even cops will pull you over like, man, just, put that away. They'll dump out your beer, but they'll let you keep your joint. It's so, do you think cocaine might be the next thing?
Absolutely.
Sure. I mean, look, Kamala's
the way this country's going, you never know.
I think they're going to legalize
Kamala's
everything.
doing lines in her office, right? Yeah. Do you think coke is the next thing that they have a dispensary of cocaine?
No way.
I think if
why not?
I think if Kamala gets in there, I do believe.
Why not, Joe?
Happen.
They experimented with this in another country in regards to that.
What was the problem?
We'll have to do a whole nother show.
I would love to do a whole nother show on that.
And if it ended in disaster, that's all the more reason why they would do it.
There is some hope with media recently, Eric. I'm shocked.
What?
60 Minutes actually held Kamala's feet to the fire
because
she was lying. A little bit. We'll play it. Let's play Kamala's soundbite. And it was interesting because we already know that Kamala, liar, cheater, stealer. We know that we know how she's gotten the positions. She hasn't earned them. She's been selected. And listen to her answer. She refused to answer the question again.
Been covering the border for years. And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem, and solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay?
But you made a problem.
And the numbers today, because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half. We have cut the flow of fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act, to actually fix the problem.
She sounds like a mom that's talking down to their kids. You will be home by 10.
She's nothing but a hooker.
But Mom, I want to stay out later. You will be home by 10. If you're not, you will not get your bike. Did you hear me? That's how she comes across to me. Not as an executive, not as someone who can. And here's what an executive would do, Joe, Vic. An executive would say, I acknowledge the problem. I acknowledge the problem. Yes.
She can't.
I understand that. But
she is the problem.
An executive would say, you know what? We wanted to be more compassionate in the way that we went about the border. We will acknowledge that people wanted to come to the United States. They got to cross the border. We were trying to be way more compassionate. We were trying to be the administration that didn't put moms and dads in cages. It didn't work out that well. We're trying to modify that, Vic. And by doing so, we are bringing the border rate down. We will be the party of strong borders. I just did her job for her.
Eric, she doesn't answer. She doesn't answer.
I just did her job for her.
And I love it when little kids are now
you have to diffuse it.
Yeah, but I love it when little kids are now even making fun of Kamala.
I saw
this is awesome. Check this out.
I didn't see this one.
No, this is a little girl acting like she's Kamala Harris when Dad and Mom are asking her if she's done all of her chores.
Hey, Jenny, did you do your chores today?
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family. My mom, she was Indian, and I grew up in a middle-class family, and we are proud of our generation, and we all had small little towns, and we all grew up having small shops.
Jenny, did you finish your schoolwork yet?
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family, and we had small businesses. It was great.
Jenny, I thought I told you to take out the dog.
Well, I grew up in the middle-class family, and we made collard greens, but they were so popular that we made them in the bathtub. Don't you just love fried chicken?
Hey, Jenny, did you do your chores today?
Yes! Thank you. This woman is not loved. She is not respected. She is not thought highly of. The only people that do this are the people who've been brainwashed, and they hate Donald Trump. Deal with it. She is done. She is over. She is toast. Put a fork in that cackling.
Is she done?
Yeah, she's done.
How come every time Brett Baer gets on?
Look at Brett Baer. Once again, you just said Brett Baer. Enough said.
Oh, damn.
And not only is
snap.
And not only is she the worst candidate that we've seen, Tim Walz, he was on late night TV last night.
I definitely didn't see that.
Oh my God.
After the Chiefs kicked the crap out of him.
He already lied. He said he was friends with school shooters. He's doing his happy hands wherever he is, calls himself a knucklehead. Then listen to him on the Kimmel show last night. He's dumber than a box of rocks. He's worse than she is.
Okay. And on waking up on November 6th with Madam President. And that's then not.
What? Waking up.
I want to be clear. You won't be waking up together. No, unless you guys have gotten closer than we thought.
I have a problem about not being specific with my language. So thank you. That's specifically right. I plan on.
I've got a problem with not being specific about my language. This guy, once again, was selected to be the vice president because he was the most liberal, far left-leaning governor in the country.
It just makes
an idiot.
It just reinforces my thought of 370 million people, of which there are a lot of college-educated leader type people, and these are the best morons
From
that
the
are
chat
out
line,
there.
Susan says she's the wrong sex for him, so that's why that would never happen.
Ooh, damn. We have 370 million qualified people who have started businesses, people who have led teams, people
his
who
name
have
is Donald His name is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's a good one. Donald Trump's a good one.
There is no better candidate, no better person that we could even think of. And it's for these people who got, I just don't, and this is an easy cop-out thing. And I hear lots of people say it. If you're my friend and you're listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm calling you out because I disagree. Well, I don't like either candidate. I wish, okay, fine, you can, but tell me a candidate who'd be better than Donald Trump, who has been more battle-tested, who's already proven he can do the job, who had super success doing the job, and then faced attack after attack, still going, winning all of them, by the way. Not only does he have new rules being circumvented to come after him in certain legal situations, but also an entire network of media going after him. He has people coming after him for his life, shot at. There is no better candidate than Donald Trump to be president of the United States. And I would like to hear one better conservative candidate right now than Donald Trump, one better liberal candidate than Donald Trump after what we have said. And it's not just one of these things, oh, well, I wonder. He already did the job. And on top of it all, is still standing in there and is losing money trying to do it. Once again, there is no better candidate than Donald Trump. Show me, as they say, show me the money. Show me the evidence. Nobody better than Donald Trump.
It's true. I mean, some of my friends, you can go ideology. If you get rid of the ideology in the face and you go, all right, would you like a community that you live in safe or in turmoil and a lot of crime? Well, safe. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like a order of business where you bring people in over the border through the front door? We document them, we bring them in, we assimilate them, they become part of this society, the fabric becomes better? Or would you like just to open up the border to everybody on the planet? Well, of course, I would like the second one. Fantastic. And as soon as you get the data points written down, you go, according to you, and I wish I could say his name. According to you, you're going to vote for Trump. According to you, but you hate him so bad. You hate him so bad, you will vote for someone that has no competency to lead the country. If I hated my pilot, but he was a fantastic pilot, and there was another guy that I loved, I would make sure that I got the pilot that I hated to fly the plane. Because we're going to land the thing, and I might get off of it. But the guy over here who's flying Cessnas that wants to fly the 747, get out of the plane.
Eric,
I love you. I'll see you for cocktails on the other side.
Eric Analogy Johnson.
You got to have people that know what the hell they're doing.
People, we are experiencing the best candidate that we've had in our modern lifetime to be president. But because he has been brash in the past, because there are some people that don't like the way that he has talked and tweeted in the past, they can't get over it. And it's their pride. And it's a bad thing.
I mean, think about it. People are pissed off at Trump about, oh, you want to go to Ukraine and give Russia the eastern part of the country. Well, you dumbasses, you're the one that screwed it up. If I was there, they wouldn't have come in and gotten the eastern part of the country. What the hell are you going to do now? Are you going to go give Zelensky nuclear weapons to get Russia out of Ukraine?
I got another thing for you too. I thought about you, Eric. I almost sent it to you yesterday.
I mean, I'm cleaning up your messes.
Eric, even the Suffolk USA Today poll, which is hardcore left-leaning liberals, even had Trump. Just put it this way: in 2020, Trump was beaten it was about 23%.
Yeah.
Biden had 23% more of the Hispanic vote. Kamala now only has about 10 to 12% more, even according to the ultra liberal Suffolk USA Today polling.
Yeah.
Only 12%. That shows you again.
Yeah.
And once again, we already know what he's going to do with the African American community.
The density of support.
I'm telling you, it's there. It's all set up.
The density of support for Kamala is not there the way that Biden had it. For some reason.
She's losing, and she's going to lose unless there's some sort of craziness where the election is turned off and everything else like we saw in 2020.
So the way I see, and I can't figure out the polling, but the way I see it is you had to push all of the right levers perfectly to get Biden in there. You had to make sure that you were pushing African Americans, you were pushing the Latinos, you were pushing everybody in all the communities. These are not being polled this time. He's losing support in the African community. He's losing support in the Latino community. He's losing support. So I don't think she has the energy to win this time, but I could be completely wrong. I just, again, it doesn't feel like she has that overwhelming density of support that Biden had to actually win this thing as an incompetent boob that should be living in Delmar Gardens. Right?
She doesn't. And once again, the entire administration for the last 4 years, this is like the 4 darkest years that I can ever remember us have in our lifetime. They're the 4 darkest years that we've had with a president.
Yeah.
They're the worst by far. And she is a part of it. She's on team loser. And we've had 4 losing years thanks to her. She has been a part of that. And thankfully, as we showed you yesterday, Biden connected her to everything as he has done. She is part of the losing team. Simple, easy as that.
Haven't you wanted to get into a conversation in the last year?
With the worst administration in the history of this country, including KJP, who walked out and refused to answer a question yesterday.
What? How unprofessional is that?
Peter Doocy said why, because she refused. And we'll save you. I'm not going to get into it because we're getting into the show, but I can explain it for you if you haven't seen it. Peter Doocy wanted to know why. Okay, go ahead. You got it, Joe. Go ahead and play it. It's real quick and we'll explain it.
The administration has money to send to Lebanon without Congress coming back. But Congress does have to come back to approve money to send to people in North Carolina. Do I have that right?
Thanks, everybody.
She refused because, once again, she's a DEI hire who did not do the job that she was supposed to do during her 4 years. She is an embarrassment. What happens is this. This is actually true. Congress doesn't have to come back. If Lebanon needs money, we'll send it to Lebanon. That was just one example. But hurricane victims, Congress has to come back and vote to send money to Americans.
Yeah.
And she refused to answer the question because she knows that there is no answer.
I've always thought there should be a law in the books that says that.
So embarrassing. That's not putting America first.
No, it's not.
That's what Donald Trump's about. Kamala is about everybody else, not Americans.
There should be a law in the books that says the executive branch has authority to move appropriated funds from one place to another, unfreeze funds to utilize for American people only. There's no moving money over to Venezuela, no moving money to Lebanon, no moving money over to Ukraine. You have the authority to take funds that are frozen, open them up, and move them to those places. There would be no need for Congress at that point because we have so many frozen funds right now that are not going places that they should be going.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some kind of a law. But you know what? Then you have the ability to blame the Congress for every damn thing. The executive could take care of everything in a weird way. They could take care of the border if they wanted to. They could take care of the good people of South Carolina. But I heard that they're arresting people from helping people in the mountains of North Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, Elon came out and said that FEMA was stopping other people from helping victims in North Carolina. Yeah. That came straight from Elon Musk.
That's a big one. Why isn't that? Remember when Bush, they had the problem in Katrina, and he goes, Brownie's doing a great job. And those words alone were enough to get him all jacked up and piss off the American people. Well, why isn't FEMA's nowhere to be found? Why isn't that enough to be able to piss off the American people?
Brand new polling from Polymarket when it comes to the polling on the 2024 presidential election. You now have Donald Trump just under a 9-point lead.
That's impossible.
Because of what the media has told you. That's why you say
that's impossible.
It's not impossible. It's the Polymarket polling, which you just said.
That's overwhelming. You can't come back from that.
Which is what you just said a short time ago, that you believe in that polling.
I do, but it was never that high.
Yeah, because it continues to go in that direction because mainstream media is lying to people.
Yeah.
And I've been giving the evidence of this for months.
Yeah.
Look
follow
at
the money, man.
I just
there's a lot of people throwing cash,
which makes me say or think something really bad is going to happen. because they've got to stop Trump
they've
somehow.
tried on so many fronts. I mean, how many more times can you try?
They will not stop.
You're going to put a bazooka in someone's
whatever it takes.
a tank busting missile? I mean, my God.
It's the wit factor. Whatever it takes, you do it. And that's why I'm just saying, I pray blessings and I pray protection over Trump and anybody associated with him and his family or his team and the campaign, because of how he is kicking her ass up and down everywhere across this country. The video, the eye evidence is all there. You see the people, you see the support. It's absolutely amazing. And it's unparalleled. We've never seen anything like this in our modern times with a candidate who was so damn popular. And then for some of those people who hate him so much, even after his own life was almost taken.
Yeah.
Yet he's done nothing to them. He has not provoked them in any way.
Did you know there's a new credit card?
Except have 4 years of super success.
There's a new credit card for conservatives, and it says fight, fight, fight on it.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
They are marketing everything they can get their hands on.
Why
with
not?
Donald Trump.
Do it. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us today for Cancel This. It was a fast freaking show. It is, as we are affectionately known as, the fastest hour plus podcasting anywhere when it comes to news. Tiny says fraudulent voted starting. We've been breaking some of those stories down as well. We'll be back Thursday. You can check out our information that we put out. We're on all the websites. Please like, subscribe, share the show if you like what we're doing. Please feel free to donate. CancelTheShow.com. There's a donation button. Anything helps. We're grateful for it. And if you know, as we'll show in this commercial, anybody that wants to partner with us from an advertising standpoint, please, just like WeQuipUSA.com was in earlier, help us as we try to help you get the information out. We're grateful. So for Pro Joe and Eric Johnson, I'm Vic Faust. We will see you back on Thursday. Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.